Hello, kids, and I hope most of the kids will be worrying. There will be a lot of worries because after we pass class 10th, and we have a lot of streams open in front of us, and a lot of thinking is involved where we need to go. And having decided a stream, of course, class 10th and 11th, it is a this is a deciding period where you have to decide which way you should go, with whether you should go in the medical line, engineering line, accounts line, business line, so many, or you want to set up your own business, because depend we tend to decide whatever we are destined to do in the future. So this is a future is always mystery, and let us not talk about the mystery part, because it is a mystery. There is no talking about the mystery, which is a mystery. So uh, I would like to talk about how you can plan yourself, plan your mind for IIT. IIT is, most of the kids, most of the students, it's like, they are very fear. Oh, it's very, it's like a very big thing for us, but I don't think so. What really is it needs require, it's wants little bit management, time management. Believe me, if you're very smart enough to study in a smart way rather than the hard way, it it will be a piece of cake for you. You can easily score a good rank. And in our times, 25 years back, you know there are hardly, we have IIT Roorkee and MNR. So in IIT, there are hardly 2000 seats were there. So it was not easy those times, but now, we have, I think, more than 10 IITs. I think maybe 10 or 15. I don't remember the number, because there more seats are available to you. And let me talk about the time management part of it. And before I go to the time management, this one thing, I will be talking about the time management, number one. Next time, the next thing I will be talking about your physical stress, your mental stress, and what happens during class 11th and 12th. You tend to follow the group. For instance, if you have 40 students in the class and every student is going after the tuition, we follow that pattern. But have you ever thought that you come around 3 o'clock from the school, and after that you take rest for 1 hour, you go for a tuition like around 4 o'clock, and if you come around 8 o'clock, so basically you have spent nearly 3 hours in going to school, coming back to school, then again going to tuition, coming back to tuition, and you didn't get time for your play also, for if you want to play any games, and you didn't get time for your own relaxation, for your own refreshment, for your own enjoyment. So during that time, because when you were in the school, you just listen what the teachers told you in the classes. You didn't record, you didn't verify what your memory has recorded on the paper. Okay, come back home, again you go to the classes. There also same thing happened. The teachers gave you the ready-made notes, what he prepared. There also he taught you. You listen there, you attend the classes, and you understood well. But what you understood, you didn't verify it by writing on the piece of paper. So what happens if you don't you know materialize this understanding by writing on the piece of paper? It evaporates very easily. Very brilliant students are very there are hardly few people who just listen and record, and they don't need any verification. The memory are so deep, and they have such a retention power, so they don't need to this verification. For instance, I've heard Swami Vivekananda have very good memory. Then he can read a book, huge book, within few minutes. But those are saints. These people are saints. They have did lot of spiritual practice. They have so much regulation of their mind, and they can even grasp knowledge from anywhere in the universe. It may be physics, chemistry, maths, anything. They are beyond knowledge, whether it's material, spiritual, any type of knowledge. But we are normal human beings. So coming back to the same point, the first thing you should decide that if you want your productivity in the school, you must verify yourself what you understand, what you understood in the class. For instance, like you go to the bank, the cashier give you the money, you count the money, right? You don't just keep the money in your purse. You count the money. After counting it, you keep the money in your purse, on the bag. So this counting, what this counting means? Counting means you are verifying what is the cashier is giving to you. In the same way, when the teacher tell you something, or is he explaining you something about some topic, let's say physics. If he's talking about Newton's third law, or or he's talking about gravitational force, so you need to come back home and remember what he told you in the class. Think about it, read the textbooks, and if you have 8 session in the class today, so you have to spend minimum 15 minutes per session, and it takes 2-3 hours to revise what you studied today in the class. And how you should revise it? You should have a paper, you should have some rough paper, or some different set of textbooks or copies, and you should write down what you understood every day. So learning from the school, and when you write down what you studied in the class today, it directly goes into the memory. It's like you're stamped it, like when you buy any property, and you stamp the property. What does that mean? It is registered. Now this property is mine. In the same case, when you write your understanding on the paper, of course it means that learning has been registered in your memory, and it will not be easy for you also to erase it, and that is a very good achievement for you. So dear kids, this is the first thing you should try to do it, and I know that very few students do it, and who were able to do it, they go beyond tuitions. They are very confident, their personality is different, and they're very focused because they're using their memory very well. And I'm not saying that you should not go for tuitions, but your planning should be that what you understood, whether it's in the class or in the tuitions, you should come back home, write it down on the paper, and do this as I said, and own that learning by writing it down on the paper in the memory. And when you close your eyes, you will feel that you know everything. Okay, so this is how you should try to do the registration of learning in your memory. And second thing I would like to share with you, many times what happens, even that, some students feel that they forget, and how to solve it. As I've said earlier, the knowledge grows when you share it. You know, for instance, suppose a person win a lottery, he shout to the people, "Oh, I win a lottery!" You cannot hide this happiness in your heart. In the same case, when you have so much knowledge, when you have so much achieved today by learning, you should shout in the class yesterday, "Oh, I have learned this thing. Let me tell you." So share your knowledge, learnings with your friends, with your classmates, and when you share it with your classmates, your capacity will grow, your learning capacity will grow, and you feel that the more you try to explain it, the things will become more clear to you. If you for instance, if you talk about gravitational to 10 students, 10 friends, then you have achieved mastery of that subject, that topic. So this second step, learning, how you solidifies this your learning in the memory. Second, how you can grow that learning by sharing your learning with your classmates, with your students, with your friends. Third, I would like to talk about time management. We have a lot of time available to us and we don't use it. For instance, let me talk about chemistry. If you see in organic chemistry, they are named reactions. They're hardly, or I say organic chemistry, they're named reactions. And they're very few, 40 and 50. So what I used to do in my days, I used to have a small notebook, maybe like a small, where you can keep that small, like a small diary. I used to keep it on my shirt in the pocket. And whenever I goes to toilet, I used to remember, revise all these formulas. And I have made a lot of diaries of physics, chemistry, and algebra, all the formulas. And whenever I go to toilet, I take the diary with me and revise all these formulas. And in those days, whenever we go for cricket, and whenever when there's in the cricket, the batting team and the team who do the fielding. And whenever our batting is there, we just have to sit till our turn comes. So I take my diary out and start revising my formulas. So in that case, I have achieved the mastery over those formulas by putting whatever I need to learn, remember it by heart. And other thing, periodic table. Periodic table is a one important thing. You should remember it. And you should remember in such a way that when you close your eyes, you should remember where each element is located and how the properties are increasing, decreasing, and where spend most of the time. For instance, you can paste your periodic table on the wall where you sleep, or where you watch the TV. You can place the periodic table on the wall at the back of the TV, so that whenever the ad comes between the movies, you can just I hope nobody will enjoy watching the ads between the movie, but you have time. Maybe if the ad comes for 3 minutes, take the diary out from your pocket and revise your formulas. And if you have or you can see a periodic table, or you can paste the periodic table in the wall. If you have a western toilet, the wall which you are facing with. So, or write down those formulas, those topics which you feel that you're very weak in it, you always forget. So write those terms, formulas, and these are very small things. For instance, other thing I would like to tell you, other tip I would like to share with you is like whenever you go to a party or meeting with your friend or with your parents, just have those diaries with you and make couple of diaries with you, and take the diary out whenever your time, spend that time, because these small time, pieces of time, slices of time, if you use it in learning, you will grow. And other thing I would like to tell you, that you will achieve mastery of that subject if you start loving it. For instance, you hate chemistry. Why? Because you didn't like it. Why you didn't like it? You don't know. But you want to love it. You want to achieve mastery of it. Why? Because you know there's a great future ahead in this subject. So how to resolve this? How you will convince yourself that I should love this subject? So what you should do? We have a lot of information available in the internet. Look for the scientists, people who did great discoveries in the field of chemistry. Read their autobiography. See what life they did, how they achieved it, what is their lifestyle, and what made them love chemistry or physics or maths. Read the autobiography of those people, read their lifestyle, read the life about those people who did great discoveries in physics, chemistry, maths. When you read these great people, you start loving this subject. Not only that, when you read something about the great people, you will get divine knowledge, because they are the receivers. Because this physics, chemistry, maths, whatever has been done, but it always comes from above, and they are the great people, they are the good receivers to receive those knowledges. So they should always have a respect for those peoples. And if any one of you wants to be one of them, don't forget to read this autobiography of these people again and again, because you are basically tuning yourself with the great people, with the different frequency zone. And most of the people, most of the students, when they like to read about autobiography of these great people, they lived in a different world, and their behavior changes, their perception changes, their intuition changes, their liking changes. They will they become the cream of the people of the country. So dear kids, these are the small tips I feel like sharing with you. I hope you will make good use of it for your good future. Wish you all the best, and don't forget to write comments if you like it, and I'm always there to help you out for a good future. Bye.